And good evening, everyone. Mystic Moon Cafe here on Spreaker.com. Travis Short and Wendy. Say hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Yeah, and that right there was the last of the energy in my 6'2" frame. There's nothing else. That's it. I'm tapped out. It is you're pumping a dry well. There's nothing here. It has been right. I was going to let Wendy do the song. Our opening song tonight was by. So, go for it.
The Delta Saints called Are You?
Am I what?
Serious? Are you serious? Holy guacamole.
I am.
And we have the evil cackling of Carly in the background that nobody else can hear.
It's just in our head. It's just in our head.
Mm-hmm.
I want to.
You are an evil woman, Carly McCracken. I'm telling you, nobody else can hear you, but I can.
We can. And we still don't know. We don't even know if she's real. Hell, we don't even know if she's real. I mean, all we hear is
we really have no idea.
This disembodied voice.
Disembodied voices.
That just pops in every now and then with these little funny jabs, and it's like, okay.
Yep.
Oh my God. Has it honestly been a week since we had this last show?
As a matter of fact, yes, it has.
Oh my God. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's been going on with you?
Just busier than heck, and trying to get through life. A little work. If any of our listeners have a job that like a work from home computer or errand runner, personal assistant, whatever, I'd take it. I need to get my car license properly and just make my own life better again.
That is not a bad idea.
Oh, Travis, you sound like you're in a deep well. Go ahead.
You'll have to play the disclaimer.
I've just been informed that we now have our Mystic Moon opening and disclaimer, and I'm going to ask that our studio representation this evening, Mrs. Carly McCracken, would play that for us right now, please.
You're listening to Mystic Moon Cafe. The views and opinions expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect those of the hosts, the network, or our sponsors. It's Wednesday evening, and you're listening to Mystic Moon Cafe on the Mystic Light and Shadows channel on Blog Talk Radio. Mystic Moon Cafe is a program that deals with the supernatural, paranormal, esoteric, and unexplained events and phenomena existing around us. For the next 2 hours, we will hear from experts in their respective fields. Take your questions and comments via phone at 646-716-6207 or by Twitter, Facebook, and the Blog Talk chat room. Now, join Wendy Schindler and Travis Short for Mystic Moon Cafe.
Alrighty, and that was our opening and disclaimer. I have no idea if Travis is still with me or not. He's having technical difficulties of his own today.
I'm still here. I am. I have had technical problems, but I'm still here. I'm hanging in.
Okay, good. I'm still here too, and my little phone is being a perfect hot spot, and by golly, we're chugging along despite life's little curveballs.
That's what we're doing.
Curveballs, magical spheres of delight.
Magical spheres of delight. I love it. I absolutely freaking love it. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm going to use that.
Oh, speaking of stones, did you get yours from Christy Lee today? Or were they there when you got them?
I got stoned today. I did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of which, Alastair Stone Chronicles.
Alastair Stone Chronicles. I know it's a nice segue. I want to say thank you to Christy if she's listening, and I hope she is tonight. I had a wonderful little package. I've got my birthstone, which is an amethyst. And then the green stone, and I know it's called something besides the green stone. I just can't remember what it was called.
There were sheets included with mine, but I wasn't sure which one was which, and I didn't really I was busy with about 4 other things, but the little pouch she sent, the little leather pouch thing.
It's gorgeous. I love this.
Oh, it is. It's adorable.
I'm actually going to wear it to work. I'm actually going to wear it to work tomorrow. I'm going to put my.
It's like a medicine bag.
It is. I'm going to put my birthstone in it. I'm going to put it under my dress shirt. I'm going to wear it to work tomorrow. But I wanted to thank Christy. It was waiting for me when I got in this evening.
Fantastic.
I actually just got in off the road. I've been in Louisville, Kentucky since Monday for the Kentucky Broadcasters Association, which we had a great time. I'll be posting some pictures very soon. We did the tour of Maker's Mark Distillery. I discovered I don't like bourbon. I know that is a great shock to anybody who listens to the show as much as I talk about drinking. I do not like bourbon, and I do not mean to offend any of our Kentucky listeners or anyone who is a bourbon fan. It is just not my liquor. I do not like it. And I tasted 5 different Maker's Mark bourbons while there. And then last night, I did a blind bourbon tasting of 4 different labels, 4 Roses, Evan Williams, Maker's Mark, and then there was another one. There was a 4th bourbon that one of the retired master distillers came and did a private blind tasting for those that wanted to for the KBA. And so did
like
that.
A Johnny Walker or something or other, maybe, or
well, Johnny Walker's a Scotch.
My bad. I don't know those hard.
Well, what I found very interesting was learning about bourbon and the fact that in America we can make sparkling wine, but we can't call it champagne because that's a region of France. So we can't. There can't be an American champagne. We can have American sparkling wine.
I like that better anyway.
But we can't say champagne because champagne is a region of France, just like cognac is a French region, so it's a brandy, but cognac is. In the I want to say it was the 1960s, Congress passed a resolution that bourbon is and it's to this day it is the only solely American spirit. You can make the liquor anywhere in the world, but you can't call it bourbon.
Okay.
Bourbon is uniquely U.S. They were very proud of this on this tour that I went on. A very funny story, and then we will get right into our show. I thought of course, we host the show together. I've been on radio, as I mentioned, 25 years, and it was, I'm part of the Kentucky Broadcasters, but it was so funny. There's several funny stories. I told you about getting there and not being able to actually get into my hotel because of what was going on. But when I was standing in line at the KBA registration. I remember this is the Kentucky Broadcasters Association. I'm standing in line. There's like 3 people in front of me. The woman behind the counter is working, and she's giving everyone their stuff. And I walk up, and I didn't say anything. She just looked at me. She goes, "I recognize your face, but I don't know your name." And I said, that is something no man ever wants to hear. And I swear to God, Wendy, I had said that statement, and she snapped her fingers and went, "You're Travis Short."
Wow. She was good.
She was. I had not seen this woman in a year, had not talked to this woman in a year. She's one of the office workers at the Kentucky Broadcasters Association. And she's like, "You're Travis Short." I said, "That is the most effing amazing thing I have seen all week."
Very cool.
But we had a good. It was a good trip. Did a 3-hour. We did a 3-hour tour. 3-hour boat. We did a 3-hour riverboat tour on the Ohio River.
Okay.
We did. It was a paddle boat, and we had this great cover band of the 70s and 80s, Tony and the Tan Lines, and they played 70s and 80s music. And it was a good trip. We had a good time. Had a lot of educational sessions all day yesterday, breakout sessions, training, stuff like that. a bunch of paperwork that I have to do tomorrow when I get to the office. A lot of things I've got to get caught up on. A lot of things that I have to amend and make right, and appease the broadcast. I have to appease the broadcasting gods on some things. So
make sacrifices and everything.
It did, but I have to say the KBA did a wonderful job. We stayed at the Galt House, Galt. It is a wonderful. It actually is listed as a 4.5-star resort. Beautiful facility, amazing job. They just did a great job. With the exception of showing up and not being able to get into my room because there was a mandatory fire drill of a 2-tower, 20-some floor facility.
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds of people pouring out of the
Hundreds
front.
of people.
Hundreds of people. Mass hysteria. Cats and dogs living together.
Woo! Run for your life.
Absolutely horrible.
Well, all part of the experience, yes.
It was, and next year we'll be in Lexington, and then the following year we go back to Bowling Green. So
very cool.
Yeah, but very fun. Got to meet some great folks, great legends of broadcasting that were there. Gentleman I was telling you about, Jim Host, started in radio in 1959 and still alive and still performing and still doing, and just really, really cool.
Nice. Very nice.
So that's been my week. I got back just a little while. Ago. I still have not unpacked my suitcase. I have not eaten. I was able to grab a shower.
You had plenty of time when you called last, though. What happened?
Well, I stopped by to see my kids.
Oh, okay.
And I took them their gifts because I bought them both little riverboat captain hats. Now I say, my son will be 15 in January. My daughter is 13. I bought them little riverboat captain hats because I just thought it would be cute. Well, I was going to buy some shit, stuff at Maker's Mark, but I realized nothing that I buy them, they can't wear it to school. They can't wear it around my family because my family doesn't drink. So I couldn't buy them anything at Maker's Mark. So the only other thing that I did was this riverboat tour. So I got them riverboat captain hats. And when I left, both of them were wearing them. My daughter was sitting at her desk with her headphones on doing her videos for YouTube, and my son was doing his homework, and they both were wearing the riverboat captain hat. So I made me pretty happy, actually.
So perfect. So, you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. It just all of a sudden got quiet. And I keep hearing a little echo, but I don't know if it's my this little system or not.
Well, and I don't know what's going on because, like I said, when I was trying to get logged in, Skype was screwed up. It was almost like I was having to recreate an account. It was the most bizarre thing. But I also haven't had my laptop open since Sunday, so
updaters and everything. Yeah, I understand. All right. Well, shall we try to get RL King on now, or what would you like to do?
No, I think so. I think we should try.
Okay.
Are we going to do a song, or are we just going to try to bring her on dry?
I think we'll have to bring her on dry because I'm not sure Carly's with us to play a song during it.
Okay, I was just curious. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can keep talking for the moment, I think, if you like. But yeah, but.
Oh my.
Oh, Carly is still there.
So.
You do? Would you like to? Okay.
Oh,
that might be a good idea.
I bet that's RL trying to get in touch with you.
It is, most likely, yeah. Okay, good deal.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Takes my heart and my soul, breaking me down till I just can't breathe. That witchy woman got in her stronghold on my man, played him just like a middle C, making my union with him grieve. So when you walk up in here, I hear a safer place. Love in my breast. Well, then my bones of his bones, they shake from deep inside. See, these blues are just one way I cry, far from these alibis. Oh, Lord. So many alibis. Each time she calls out, he goes running, leaving me. Then acts as if it ain't no thing. Oh, while my tears fall endlessly, I feel so helpless, so far from wrong, it's so wrong. I wonder how I've lost myself, singing with fury in my song. So when you walk up in here, I see a safer place. Well, then my flesh of his flesh so longs to be embraced. Well, then my bones of his bones, they shake from deep inside. See, these blues are just one way I cry, far from these alibis. So you walk up in here, you turn your ears my way. Then my flesh of his flesh, it longs to be embraced. Well, then my bones of his bones, they shake from deep inside. See, these blues are just one way I cry, far from these alibis. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. So many doggone lies, y'all.
to add-
Oh, Lord, so many alibis. Yeah. Oh, ought to know it. Tell the woman a lie one time, she just can't trust you no more. Yeah. Oh, you tell a woman a lie 2 times, she just might walk on out the door. Yeah. Oh, Lord, too many alibis. Oh, too many alibis. Oh, all of this heartbreak, keep it down. Yes, indeed.
Okay. I am live. I'm still trying to get a hold of everybody, and I really don't know what's going on with this. Um, hmm.
And just for a second, I want to say that was Brickfield's Alibis.
Thank you, Miss Carly. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know why this isn't happening right. It's kind of getting to be a pain in the buttocks. Okay, wait a minute. It's ongoing. Is everybody here? Hello? Okay, but it's showing like Robin's cat and Travis's picture. Probably. We have another song we can play while we try to figure it out. Okay. Here it is. Okay, that's a good one. St. Louis Blues is always a good one. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, I don't know.
Sure don't like to see that evening sun go down, go down. Said I sure don't like to see that evening sun go down. Was about that time of day. That man I loved done gone and left me up in this town. That man got a heart like a rock way down in the deep blue sea. That man I love, oh Lord, got a heart like a rock, oh, way down in the deep blue sea. St. Louis blue, blue is blue can be. Tomorrow, oh Lord, and like I felt that day. Said I feel like tomorrow, oh Lord, and like I felt that day. Maybe about time I go and pack up my rags. Ooh, maybe time I make my getaway, yes. Hey, you see, that St. Louis woman, and every one of her sparkly things, oh, well. One of them. She done took that man I love. She done gone and wrapped him up all in her apron strings. But if it wasn't for her powder, or her store-bought hair, or her snowball hash, ooh, I know he'd be loving me, yeah, so. That man, that man, that man got a heart like a rock way down in the deep blue sea. That man, that man, that man I love, oh Lord have mercy, got a heart like a rock way down in the deep blue sea. St. Louis blue, blue as blue can be. St. Louis blue.
Was that Brickfields or was that Louis Armstrong? Okay. That was Brickfields, St. Louis Blues, as opposed to Louis Armstrong and the St. Louis Blues. Oh my goodness, we're having a bit of technical difficulties. Skype is just being a total bitch tonight.
It is. It's Wednesday the 11th before Friday the 13th.
Exactly right. We're trying real hard, and Carly is working her little heart out, bless her heart and everything. And we'll continue on for a few moments anyway. And Travis, would you like to? Do you have it pulled up where you can introduce her, kind of give her background on RL a little bit?
I should be able to in just a moment. As I have said, my laptop has been screwed up since I turned it on anyway. So,
well, now the stones I got were obsidian, which I don't actually see a black stone. So I guess I do. There it is. They're in these little pink bags, and that kind of throws the color a little bit. And I thought one was pink. What is the pink crystal like you got, Travis? But amethyst.
Yeah, that was my birthstone.
It's either the Prehnite or carnelian.
Hello.
Oh, I think we got her. Yay! I am so sorry for the confusion. I have no idea what's going on. I usually use my big computer, but I don't have the internet right now, so it's kind of it's just up in the air.
Well, it sounds like we're here now.
Yes, we are. Perfect. Yay.
And thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here. Are we recording already?
I believe we are live. Yes.
Okay.
We're live. Oh, I need to clean up a little bit. Oh wait, this isn't.
Theoretically, we're live. Yeah.
Nobody can see me. You might be listening to Mystic Moon Cafe, and we're not exactly sure. We're having all kinds of technical problems tonight. As I said, it's Wednesday the 11th before Friday the 13th. So,
fortunately, I don't think any of us are Templars, though, so we're probably fairly safe. From,
that's true. That is very true.
Broke kings and such.
So, I'm broke, all right, and I am so not a king. I'm more like a. Anyway,
Am I in trouble?
That's true. You are.
No,
you are
a king. Ooh.
We may have to refigure out and rethink this whole joke line here. So,
Travis, would you like to do an introduction, or have you gotten there?
I know. I thank you very much. Yes, I have evolved to the point of being able to read an introduction, I think.
Okay, I'll trust you on this one, but
we have with us this evening for the second or third time. Second, I know time. Third time. I was going to say I know two, but I was thinking there was another time. R.L. King, an award-winning author and game freelancer for Catalyst Game Labs. publisher of the popular role-playing game Shadowrun. She's contributed fiction and game material to numerous source books, as well as one full-length adventure, On the Run, included as part of the 2012 Origins award-winning Runner's Toolkit. Her first novel in the Shadowrun universe, Borrowed Time, was published in the spring of 2015. When not doing her best to make life difficult for her characters, King is a software technical writer for a large Silicon Valley database company. In her spare time, like there's a lot of that, she enjoys hanging out with her very understanding spouse, her small herd of cats, watching way too much Doctor Who, and attending conventions when she can. She's an active member of the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America, Horror Writers Association, and the International Association of Media Tie-In Writers, and she is also the author of the Alastair Stone Chronicles. Welcome to Mystic Moon Cafe, R.L. King.
Thank you. Happy to be here. And I just noticed that intro is actually old because I'm not a software technical writer anymore.
Right.
It's on your web. It is on your website.
Oh, I need to update that. I'm terrible about updating stuff like that. Don't even look at my website. It's like 2 books old right now.
Well, that's where I grabbed the information. So, damn Google, we will blame. We will pass the buck.
You're shaming me into actually going in and updating my website, which I really need to do anyway. So I appreciate that.
Well, it's so funny. It's one of those things. I've had clients. We've launched websites for them, and we put up all kinds of great information, and then you forget about it once you put it up because you get to doing the other stuff. You get to writing, you get to freelancing, you get to all that, and then you forget. Oh, well, by the way, my website says in 2010 I did this, and this, and that was 7 years ago. I really need to update it and keep it up to speed so that when people log on, they don't go, we launched this website and January 15th of 1999, and now you got to stay up to speed. So
yeah, it's on GeoCities,
Exactly. Oh my God, Angel Fires on Angelfire.
Tripod.
Oh my God, I forgot about this. Tripod, Angelfire, GeoCities. Yeah, those. Oh my God, I forgot about using those. Oh, that's.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us yet again on our show. And we do apologize. We've had a lot of technical problems. Skype, as Wendy said, and I'm quoting you, is being a bitch.
Yes.
Skype is not cooperating tonight at all. So
no worries.
No, but we it's good to have you back.
Be back.
Yeah, it was. It's probably I guess it's been maybe 6 months. It was back in the spring. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It's been
a while.
It has.
But it wasn't. It was before June when
it was.
The other side came out.
Yeah.
It was.
I think it was.
I'm going to say closer to March, but I honestly have to go into files I can't get to right now.
I was going to say it was either like February or late late February, early March, that time frame. I remember it because I remember Werewolf of London. Sorry, I had to do that. Every time that goes off, I'm going to do that.
Hey, I'm just so proud of myself for being able to find it and get it back on my phone after I had to reinstall Messenger.
I know. It's so funny. I've introduced my daughter to the Exorcist TV series on Fox. And so now she wants to watch the movies, but I've discovered that her new ringtone on her phone is the Exorcist theme song. She has downloaded that. So
Tubular Bells?
Yes. Yeah. Which I actually, and it always messes with people that I tell. I can actually fall asleep to that movie. I can fall asleep to The Exorcist because of the music. It doesn't. I shut out what's going on in the movie. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love The Exorcist, one of my favorite horror films. But I can actually fall asleep listening just because of that the cadence of the Tubular Bells. I love it. I literally love falling asleep to that.
I love that music too. I tried to watch the series. I couldn't get into it. I think it might have been a little bit too gory for me, and that's saying something.
Well, it was also slowly paced, and the first couple of episodes, it took a while to build, and that was.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm having technical problems again. I know you guys can hear me, but all of a sudden I cannot hear you. Okay, now I've got it back. But you really do need to watch it, because when I heard, and we're not talking, you know, we're here to talk about your stuff, but when I heard that they were doing an Exorcist TV series, I mean, seriously? You're going to do that movie as a TV series? And then I realized that they were doing a series inspired by those events. And then when you actually watch it all the way through, what they did in the storytelling of those 10 episodes, in my opinion, was some of the best TV storytelling that took place that TV season. They did an amazing job when they rounded it out at the end of the season and they closed that chapter. It was very much like an American Horror Story. It was an anthology. So that season stands alone. This season is standing alone. It's a whole different kind of exorcist and demonic possession, but they did an amazing job. As far, yeah, I would encourage, if you get a chance, binge watch it. It's not on Netflix. It is on Hulu.
Okay. Yeah, we watched a few episodes and I really liked it. I thought it was a really good show. It's just, I think we got about 8 episodes into it and it just started seriously creeping us out to the point where, because we watch them with dinner. And it was getting to the point where it wasn't dinner fare.
No. I don't know. I remember I posted a couple years ago that I was binge watching The Walking Dead, eating a medium rare steak. So I mean, it can be. I mean, anything's possible.
I guess so.
It's like watching Ducky dissect a body on NCIS during dinner or something. No, thank you very much.
I watch CSI with dinner. I watch House with dinner. That stuff doesn't bother me, but I don't know. There was just something super creepy about that show. Good, but creepy.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, as long as you're not eating what they're dissecting, why the hell does it matter? I mean, it's not.
Gag reflex. Sorry,
okay.
I'm a softie there.
Oh my God. Well, let's talk with RL. What has happened since you were on with us last time? We'll just throw that out there as kind of a general question. I mean, we're talking probably 6 months. So a lot has transpired, especially with Alastair Stone. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what have you been up to?
Well, I've been, let's see, I can't remember if The Infernal Heart had come out by the time I was on last time. But that one's out now. The Other Side is out. Path of Stone is out, which is a kind of a, I don't know, it's sort of like YA Dr. Stone, I guess. It's the story of his apprenticeship at age 15. That one people really seem to like that one. That one's been doing really well. And I've already got book 12 done. It's off to the editor now, and I'm working on book 13.
You are cranking them out since you became a full-time writer there.
Yeah, it's doing great things for my productivity.
As will happen. I see your word count every day, and I'm like, holy crap, I don't even think that many words in a day.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I was going to ask you, how long from concept to finished product does it take you to write an Alastair Stone book?
It depends on the book. Book 12 took me longer than usual. It took me, 2 or 3 months, because it's more of a kind of an introspective book. There's a lot of personal stuff going on in that, and that's harder to write. Infernal Heart, actually, it's a long book, but it was fast because it was very action oriented, and I kind of had a clear idea where I was going with it. So anywhere from a month to probably 3 or 4 if I'm really slow.
Okay.
Well, I absolutely loved how you did The Other Side. Stone going one way with, and I guess I can't leave. Oh gosh, I can't do any spoilers, can I? Shoot.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
It sucks to be a fan and a host.
Well, at least not the spoiler,
Right. Well, we lose one certain character, and I wasn't sure why, but I wasn't completely creeped out or disappointed by it. And then Jason and Verity, and that was a heart wrencher there at the end. Poor Verity.
Yeah, that one was fun to write. Not that whole book, because I wrote it actually two separate books. I did Stone's
Right.
whole story first, and then I went through and went back and did Verity and Jason's story, and then kind of wove them together to make sure all the timelines worked.
Sure.
Just trying to keep my head between those two stories going back and forth would have driven me crazy. So crazier.
I was just rereading the birthday dinner there in the restaurant, and I was like, this is just sweet. I like it.
I had fun writing that scene. I was kind of afraid it was too long, like, no, people aren't going to want to read all this stuff, but my editor said, no, they like these characters. They're going to want to see this kind of stuff, so I took his word for it.
Everyday interaction and all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I did have let's see, where were my questions? Well, the other side came out in June, correct? Mid-June, I believe.
Yes, June.
Let me see. Okay, will there be more of I'm going to call them one-hit wonders, the mages with just the one trick, and they really don't have any idea where it came from or how to use it, or in my head it would do to maybe try to start looking for them and rounding them up somehow, but that's me too. It's your story, obviously, and you do a fantastic job. I'm thinking, these guys got to be corralled and taught the right way, dang it.
Well, they definitely will show up again, because there's a lot of them, relatively speaking. I mean, most, there aren't that many mages in the first place, but of the ones that are, most of them are that kind. There's not that many out there that are Stone's, Kalinski's level of ability, because most people don't, in our society nowadays, people don't really want to take the time and effort to study to the extent to get that kind of, ability. You have to be born with it in the first place, but even if you are born with it and you don't study and you don't learn, you're not gonna advance. So, So yeah, they will turn up again. I mean, they're fun because then I can have a mage with a power that might be a little more strong than people might expect, without having them be, competing with the heavy hitters for power level in general. Right.
Yep, we dealt with some pretty adult content there in Las Vegas. That was. Unfortunately, it's all too true, and that's the part I hate the most. Children taken into nefarious situations, I guess you call them.
Yeah, I had to be careful with that because I've gotten a couple of complaints from readers that I kill too many kids, and so I've backed off on that some, because I was kind of proud of the fact that I didn't kill anybody in that book. No kids anyway.
Right. Oh, I thought you
killed other people, but no kids.
Hey, most of them deserved it.
Yeah, I'd say most of them did. But yeah, I had to walk carefully on that one, and I asked my editor about it and said, what do you think of this? Is this going to work? And he said, yeah, it's fine. It's not too over the top, but it gets the idea across. So I don't think I could have been any more graphic about it. I think it would have squicked me out too much.
I think it would have too. Yeah. No, I thought it was a perfect balance on it.
What inspires the adventures and the plots of your novels?
I think it's more correct to say what doesn't. I'm constantly, whatever I'm watching on TV, movies, talking to people, reading books, commercials, anything I see, well, something might spark an idea, just a little germ of an idea that I write down on one of my little 3x5 cards and file it away. And then when it comes time to kind of plot out the next few books, I go back and look at these and say, is this something I can kind of incorporate into something? Or, it's rarely a whole plot that I'll get that way, because I don't want to, start plagiarizing other people's ideas. But, little things can give me ideas that have nothing to do with what they originally started as. So, and I have to write them down or I'll forget them because my brain is full of squirrels.
Yep, I know that problem well, and Travis is a squirrel, so he understands too.
I am a little squirrely. Yeah.
I'm a lot squirrely.
And I have a dog that if you say squirrel, he starts looking around for something. He has no idea what, and he wouldn't harm anything, but he's pretty sure he's going to get it, whatever it is.
That's great. I don't think my cats even know what squirrels are because they don't get to go outside. So unless they see them out the backyard.
It's so funny. Speaking of squirrels, in eastern Kentucky where I'm working, I saw something I had never seen in my entire life, and that's black squirrels.
Oh yeah, I've seen black squirrels. They're pretty.
They're very bizarre looking though. You see what you think is a cat, and then all of a sudden it jumps and climbs a tree and runs across a power line, and it's like, holy hell, that's a squirrel.
Yeah, I've never actually seen a red squirrel. We have mostly brown ones out here.
Well, yeah. We get gray and brown.
Yeah.
Here. But I had never seen a black one. And I'm like, I walked out and then one was just standing there. I walked out of the radio station one day. It was just standing there staring at me, and I'm like,
"Hey, what's up?" I think maybe I might have seen a black squirrel, possibly in England. I don't remember when I was there a long time ago. Could be wrong. I don't know, but I know I've seen them somewhere. I think they're pretty. I wish we had more of them out here. And I've seen a white squirrel too. Well, I've never seen a real white squirrel. I've seen pictures of them. They're very pretty too. I don't imagine a white squirrel would last very long in the wild, though, unless it's
yeah, it would kind of screams, "Eat me."
That may be why there aren't that many of them.
It could be.
Okay. And on that note,
it's things like this. We have disclaimers when I digress.
No, I'm just thinking. Well, we've got red squirrels, we've got brown squirrels, and then we have the combination kind of. But that's Missouri.
Missouri loves company.
That's right. That's a whole other author. We don't talk about him on this show.
That's true.
None of this
episode.
Anyway, yeah. What are the plans for Verity? Is she going to get her own place, get her own maybe offshoot series, or what do you think?
She is going to get her own place.
Okay.
And that's a big part of what happens in book 12 is the reason why she gets her own place.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about an offshoot series. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure I could sustain a series with her as the main character, to be honest. I'm not sure unless she gets a lot more happens to her than I have planned so far, which is entirely possible. I've been focusing mostly on Stone, but
well, it is the Stone Chronicles, so there.
And I do have an offshoot series planned, but it's not about Verity.
Okay. Now, when reading Path of Stone, which I absolutely loved it, I thought that was perfect, and I like how it starts with he and Stone and Verity in the restaurant, and here, tell me a story. I'm feeling low, and I thought that was just perfect how you did that. And I started thinking, I don't remember, and I didn't quite have time to read back through all of the books, but have you mentioned his parents before?
Very, very tangentially. I never mentioned his mother.
That's kind of what I kept thinking, and I thought, well, I wonder if we'll get into more of that maybe later, maybe a story or two, or just what happened.
Book 12.
Ooh,
all the questions are answered.
I'm on the right track then.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is going to be revealed about Stone's past in book 12.
Interesting. Okay. Will we see more of Desmond as well, or?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm not
can't say
I'm
it's
not
more
gonna go probing. I'm just asking. Well, it just seemed like they had a very, very tempestuous relationship, and it didn't seem like he wanted to have anything to do with his old master.
Well, actually, that's not exactly true. He turned up
Okay.
in book 8,
Right,
which was the flashback story.
Mhm.
No, they actually had a very good relationship. They just once they got used to each other and kind of felt each other out and realized what they could and couldn't get away with. Because both of them are very strong personalities. They're both very stubborn.
Yes.
Like a couple of bulls running into each other. So once they got past that, and especially after Desmond started trying to set Stone up with his daughter, once Stone moved to the U.S., they didn't see each other that often because they didn't really have excuses to get together that often. But they were fine. They were actually very close. As close
Okay,
as
I misread it then, or misremembered, more likely.
Yeah, they had their relationship in Path of Stone was kind of tempestuous, but it evened out after that.
Okay. Excellent.
Very cool. How far do you see the Chronicles continuing?
I see it as it's an open-ended series. I'm going to keep writing it as long as I'm coming up with ideas. And I do have an event planned, not for a long time yet. It's probably going to be at least 4 or 5 more books at minimum before it happens, but it's going to kind of change the tone of the series a little bit and open up a lot more story possibilities. So, I don't know. I'll keep writing as long as people keep reading it, and probably longer than that because I enjoy writing it. So hopefully people will keep reading it. I mean, I think of it as kind of like a TV series, where you get an episode every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Have you been approached by anybody with a movie or TV script or anything like that?
Not yet. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
It would be.
But no, not yet.
Well, that goes back to like the Dresden Files. They varied quite a bit, and it was very short run on Sci-Fi Channel, and it just didn't pan out right. And I don't know if that was.
Yeah,
I don't know why that was, but yeah.
Let me say this, and I don't want to offend anybody who liked that series, but if I had to choose between having my series turned into a series like the Dresden Files TV series or not, I would choose not. I thought it was a fine series standing alone, but I didn't think it was the Dresden Files.
No, it didn't. It didn't compare to the books whatsoever.
They changed too much about it. I personally didn't care for their choice of casting for Dresden. I know a lot of people like him, but I didn't.
I didn't dislike him, but I kind of liked having a face and a voice for him. But other than that, I just really didn't care one way or the other.
Yeah, he didn't do anything for me. That guy didn't. So to me, it was just this is so far from the books that I really enjoy that it's not even really the Dresden Files. Right.
Yes, but the thing I think with me is that I saw the TV series before I read the books.
Oh, okay, that would make a difference.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and I didn't think it was the most horrible series ever until I read the books and went, oh dear.
Yeah, that was kind of me too. I mean, if I could get myself into the mindset of, okay, this isn't the Dresden Files. This is just an urban fantasy series about this guy with a hockey stick and magic.
Yep.
A guy that isn't a skull, but he's a guy, and it's like, okay, this isn't horrible. I like to see urban fantasy on TV, but that ain't Dresden.
Exactly. Right,
so I'm not disappointed that it didn't last very long, because I'm hoping if they decide to redo it again, maybe they'll give it a little more love and, maybe make movies out of it, or like a mini series or something that's.
Or even revamp it as a series and recast and just start all over. I mean, they've done that before. I mean, it's.
Actually have Bob be a skull and have,
Yep.
I don't know.
Have Murphy be a petite blonde instead of that kind of militant dark-haired girl. who always plays a bad girl in every other series.
Yeah, I just didn't really understand some of the choices that they made, why they changed things that, would have easily been fine kept the way they were supposed to be. Yeah, Murphy was one of them. But, why does he have a hockey stick and a drumstick instead of a blasting rod and a staff?
Yeah.
It's like,
how was it he phrased that to that one guard that one time, an carved Ozark walking stick or some authentic Ozark folk art walking stick or something.
Yeah. I mean, okay, yeah, it'd be a little weird to walk around carrying that, but...
Well, sure, but...
they could sell it.
Absolutely. Any weirder than a hockey stick? Yeah, just because.
Not unless they're in Canada.
True. Oh, yeah. Hey, now they probably did film it there.
They probably did, actually. So, walking around with a hockey stick in Canada may not be quite as weird. I don't know.
One just never knows. Yeah.
I could walk around with a hockey stick.
I could too.
You could. Yeah.
I could, and just beat the crap out of people when they piss me off. But I won't do that because that's not productive anger management. I've learned this. I have to do productive anger management.
So
what do you hit him with to be productive?
Car. I'm sorry, I did not say that out loud.
I heard nothing. I heard cattle prod.
Nothing. No.
Electronic cattle prod.
You know nothing? Nothing.
I know nothing. What else is going on? How were you affected by the wildfires out in California at all?
No, well, it's kind of smoky and smells like barbecue outside, but it's mostly quite a bit north of here. It's north of San Francisco, so that's 50 plus miles away from us.
I hope it stays that way.
I do too, and I hope they get it under control pretty soon because it's pretty scary.
Absolutely, I have no doubts.
Yeah, it's they're and this is a bold statement for California to say these are the worst wildfires on record, because there have been some bad ones.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I was looking at some pictures of the neighborhood in Santa Rosa where they showed before and after what it looked like, and it was like some kind of post-apocalyptic thing. It was like all the houses were leveled and a few, charred trees, and it was horrible.
Wow.
Very, very sad.
So what type of... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, please go ahead. I lost the thought as soon as I stopped talking.
Squirrels again.
Squirrels. Yep. Yeah. Dang squirrels.
I was going to say, what other types of adventures are you mapping out for Alastair and his group?
Let's see. How can I say this without doing any spoilers? So book 12 is, like I said, it's a very personal thing. It's a lot of not backstory, but a lot of stuff about his history and how it kind of affects him nowadays. Book 13 is it's more personal stuff, but there's also more of a kind of a straight crime story in it too. Because I wanted to get a little bit out of the introspective stuff after book 12. And book 14 is, I can't tell you anything about book 14 because it's going to be different.
Oh, different.
You're gonna see somebody that you haven't seen for a while come back. Let's put it that way.
Oh, did we catch a glimpse of him? Just a bare glimpse in Vegas?
Maybe.
The elusive white squirrel.
The elusive white squirrel, yes. Oh, yep, that's an interesting way to describe him.
Oh my God, we have now coined a second new phrase. We have red ferning, hashtag red ferning. We're going to have to start trending hashtag white squirrel for anything that is random or obnoxious or just out of the ordinary. It's going to be hashtag white squirrel.
There you go.
Yep.
I'm going to start it right now. I'm going to...
Right.
I'm going to go onto Twitter right now. I'm going to do it.
Now, on your Facebook pages, I believe I don't remember what the number 12 is being called.
Necessary Sacrifices.
Necessary Sacrifice. Okay, I know that the cover art was absolutely gorgeous. So,
You haven't seen the cover art yet for that one. No, the one you saw is actually a novella. It's called Turn to Stone.
Oh, that's right. I apologize.
That's all right. I love that cover too. I think it's gorgeous. My cover artist and I had kind of a conversation about some stuff that I wanted to try to make some changes to the cover. And I said, this is what I'm looking for. Can you make this, I want something that pops more. I want to maybe not have his face shown on the cover so we can be more versatile about what we do.
People's imaginations.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh. So that book, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, please go ahead, please.
Well, I was just going to say that book is I don't know what I'm going to do with it quite yet. It's probably going to be the freebie. I'm going to switch out Stone in a Hard Place and switch this one in if I decide to go to Kindle Unlimited, which I'm leaning very strongly toward doing at this point.
Oh, lovely. I read a lot of books on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah, I did a couple polls in my newsletter and on my Facebook group, and it seems that the overwhelming majority of people are getting their books from Amazon, and of the people who don't, most of them are okay with getting them from Amazon, even though that's not maybe their preferred platform. But
and the
I
other
heard
ones
somebody
are just there for the cake.
Yeah, some of them are there for the cake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard from somebody, I don't remember who it is now, but it's somebody that I seem to think that might know what they were talking about, said that about 70% of urban fantasy is on Kindle Unlimited. So it seems to be a genre that does well there. So, yeah, I'm going to a conference early next month, and I'm going to ask. There's going to be a bunch of people there that are really, really strong in the indie book sales. So I'm going to talk to some of them and see what they have to say, and probably switch it over after that. So that's what that book is for.
Sounds good. Well, I noticed that our digital artist, and I know she's an artist, I know she does tons of book covers, but she did our Dragon Around the Moon logo there.
Yeah.
And she wanted to listen tonight, I saw. So, if you ever want a little different perspective, get a hold of Lorraine Von Tonder.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'm pretty happy with the guy I'm using right now, because he's been with me the whole time. Yeah, he does really good work, and he's very accommodating too, which is nice. I'll send him a note and I'll say, yeah, this isn't quite what I'm looking for, and I'm sorry, I can't really explain to you why, but, and then I'll blather, 3 or 4 lines of, free association about why it doesn't work for me, and then he'll send me something back and it'll be perfect. So
right, yeah. That's how Lorraine did us in the beginning too. Don't really know. And
I
Travis,
don't know what I want. But,
just listen to Wendy. It's okay. Whatever you want.
Yep.
Yeah, I worry sometimes because I'm really, really picky about covers. I'm not a cover artist. I'm not, a Photoshop whiz or anything like that. I know my limitations, but excuse me. But it's kind of like, I know what I want, and I'll know it when I see it. So I'll give him kind of a vague idea of what I'm looking for, and he'll come back with something, and it won't be right, but it'll be close, and then we can kind of massage it from there. And that process seems to work out pretty well. So I'm happy with that.
It works, yeah. And these days, I would imagine with all of the independent artists out there that, your cover art has to pop and have a lot of attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excuse me, my nose is doing the same thing, and I guess it's just the time of night that it is.
So now I was going to ask you, RL. You mentioned the indie author, the conference that you're going to, and things like that. And I've worked for indie authors. I've represented them from a publicity standpoint and helping them with their marketing and their promotions and things like that. Do you find that there is that the indie author world is a close knit group? Do you guys network and help one another, or is there that competition? Friendly competition where they, trade secret, not going to tell you what's worked for me. You have to figure it out on your own.
I have not seen any of that. I mean, it seems like to me, everybody.
Hello?
Okay, we lost her.
I think we did. Come back. Call us back.
Can you hear us, RL?
Robin, are you there?
I think we lost her. I don't see her on the call anymore.
Oh, and see, mine stayed the same. I guess it's just this silly app. She should be able to call us back.
Okay, what I've got is Carly and you on my call. Okay. Yeah, I think RL's dropped.
Oh, wildfires and sunspots and Nibiru. Oh my!
Oh my! Let's do that again. What is that? Wildfires and sunspots and. What was the other
Planet X. Oh, yeah.
Planet X. Nibiru. All right. Okay.
Nibiru. Okay. Let me see. I love talking to her, though. She's so smart so quick. She is. And I love the books. I mean, I really, really do. And, we do talk to a lot of independent or very, very small publication authors in this genre, and they're all great. They're all fantastic. I love the structure that we have here, though. So in the Stone Chronicles.
Did I get lost? I'm sorry.
You're back.
Oh, you did. There you go. Good. I was just trying to type out a thing, and that's okay.
I got this. I got my phone rang, and then it was trying to give some kind of advisory, and I think I was turned away from the computer, and I pulled the headphone thingy out of the.
I've done that myself a lot.
So did you hear anything I said, or did I answer to your question?
Oh,
no, we did not.
Away.
So I'm sitting here blathering away, and
that's okay.
Now you get to answer again. So.
Okay. Yeah. So the answer is that no, I have not really seen any kind of competition. It's all been really helpful. People are happy to step up and answer questions, or they'll tell you, why your book cover sucks or why it's good, or, why your blurb sucks or why it's good. Helping people out. It just seems like everybody's really helpful. Like they all feel like we're all in this together, and just because if you sell more books, then maybe they'll read my book too when they finish reading yours. That seems to be an attitude that's fairly common.
Absolutely.
So,
yep.
Yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to meeting some of the people that write in my genre at this conference that I'm going to in November. So,
is it one of the big ones, or?
It's called the 20 Books to 50K conference. It's based off of there's a Facebook group called 20 Books to 50K, which is Michael Anderle and now I can't remember the other guy's name, Craig Martell.
Okay.
They started it, and it's kind of a philosophy for people who are writing to kind of try to make a living at indie writing. The idea is you write 20 books and make a sustainable 50K a year income. That's what they're going for.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot in a year, but I've seen at least one who's making a darn good stab at it, and you're kind of, now that you're full time, good Lord, you're going to it just quicker than I can even blink almost.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think it's a little less scary for me because I have a spouse with a good job, so it's not like if I don't write the next book we're going to starve. I really admire the people who kind of are brave enough to take the leap and go full time with their writing when they don't have somebody that can be their safety net.
Right.
That's way braver than I think I'd be, honestly.
Yeah. This day and age. Yeah.
Sure.
You've got to have the safety net, in my opinion, too. But
Oh,
yeah.
Either that or I need to move somewhere else because, this area isn't cheap to live in, and I don't think I could.
Yeah, cost of living, there. Although still, that area is somewhere I would still like to visit at some point, but it may or may not happen now.
Oh, it's great. I love this area, but it's getting more expensive every year.
Where isn't, though, right?
Well, it's true.
Really?
Well, maybe where Travis lives.
Could be. No, it's getting more expensive to live here too. All the damn time.
Yeah.
All the damn time. But California in general. I know several years ago, a friend of mine was living in Orange County, and he and his wife had they had a 1-bedroom apartment. It was a living room, 1-bedroom, kitchen, bath, and they were paying $1,800 a month rent. I mean, that was just. And he's like, if you don't want to sleep on a park bench, that's what you pay in Orange County.
Around here, I think the last time I checked, San Jose, 1-bedroom apartments are somewhere in the 3,000 range. Maybe.
I said, this was
holy
this
crap.
This was about 10 years ago. Now
it's crazy.
They're back in San Clemente now. They're living there. He lived in Nashville for a while, lived here in Virginia for a while, was in Denver, just outside of Denver, Colorado, for a while. And then they went back, and now they're in San Clemente. But yeah, about 10 years ago they were there. So about 1,800. So yeah, over a decade, yeah, you're probably back up. That same place that he was running probably does go for $3,000 a month now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It is. It's absolutely crazy.
And housing prices out here are nuts so too. I feel bad because it's hard for unless you work for one of the big companies like Google or Apple or somewhere, and you're moving out here. It's got to be quite a sticker shock to move out here.
Yeah, it would have to be.
We never really got in. So go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I can't remember if I asked you this in the previous appearances, but I wanted to. What prompted you? What inspired you to start writing at all? I mean, you obviously have a background in writing technical. What got you writing creatively?
I've been writing creatively since I was a little kid. I mean, it's just one of those things that's kind of a compulsion. I used to write bad Star Trek fan fiction in junior high and high school. Showed it to one friend, and and I didn't let it out of my sight other than that. But I was writing stuff. I have reams of stuff that I wrote when I was a kid that I still have. Just because whenever I get interested in a character, I have to tell stories about him. So I decided if I'm going to do that, I might as well just get a character that's mine, so I can actually make money on him instead of just writing fanfic. Which fanfic is fun, but you can't make any money on it unless you repurpose it and sell 50 Shades of Grey or something. But
or something titled The White Squirrel.
The White Squirrel.
The Elusive White Squirrel. Publish that.
That sounds literary.
It does.
Yes, it does. Quite.
It could be a trilogy. It could be
symbolize.
You could do a trilogy: the White Squirrel, the Gray Squirrel, and the Black Squirrel.
There you go.
I'm going to have to interject that I believe Kevin Hearn and his faithful pooch Oberon may have done something very similar to that.
Really?
A literary squirrel trilogy?
So.
Wow.
Okay. He did the Purloined Poodle, and
okay. Well, that's okay. It's not a squirrel.
But he's done another one recently, and I think it had something to do with squirrels. I just can't quite remember.
Squirrels aren't poodles.
No, they're not. But I think Oberon, who is an Irish wolfhound and would love to kill every squirrel he meets.
Nuts.
Exactly.
Here we go. Oberon's Meaty Mysteries, The Squirrel on the Train.
That's it, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys read Kevin Hearn or the Iron Druid series or not, but Oberon's my favorite character. But I'm done that way, and I understand that. You know, I'll start going to meetings here shortly again.
Well, the pets are always popular.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I get several notes from people saying, you know, when are you going to do more stuff with Raider? Like,
I see that too, and I'm like,
cats.
oh, come on. He's a cat. He's not magical, at least not yet, so yeah.
He's just a cat.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool cat. I like him. He's based off of my cat, but he's just a magic cat. Not yet. I know promises for later, but...
Yep, that's too good.
We could have a squirrel trilogy. I'm going back to that. We could do a squirrel trilogy. I'm just saying.
We absolutely could.
It could be
And
fun.
we might want to do the research into it though to make sure that somebody else hasn't done a squirrel.
Oh, why? Why? It doesn't matter. I sat in a 2 hour.
We could do our trilogy of terror.
I sat in a 2 hour trademark and copyright session at the KBA the other day, and basically what it boiled down to was, if I can say it and I can write it, I can copyright it, trademark it, and it's my intellectual property. It doesn't matter.
There you go. Squirrels.
Squirrels.
Maybe I should put a magic squirrel in the next book.
You should.
Oh, yeah.
You know I'm just going to put a squirrel reference in the book just for you guys.
Please do. or from now on, it could be like, for years when Playboy magazine was publishing, there was the bunny somewhere on the cover of the magazine, somewhere in the layout.
Yeah.
From now on, in every covered book design, there should be a white squirrel somewhere.
Yeah.
Just somewhere, either.
I'll put that on the list.
Kind of like the TV show Psych, where every single episode had a pineapple.
Exactly.
Hidden somewhere.
Oh, I never saw that one. That's funny.
Oh, I love Psych. It's true, and they make fun of just about everybody. It ran, I think, from like 07 or 8 to like 2011 or 13.
Yeah.
It wasn't but it's so much fun. I can't binge watch it because after 3 or 4 episodes, I'm like, okay, we got to grow up for a little bit and do something else. But okay, I'll go back to it.
When it has to go back to adulting.
Yes, yeah.
Adulting is overrated.
Extremely.
It is, but then sometimes the snark is just like, oh my God. I can get into a good snark contest, but oh my word, yeah. Okay, well, for the books, do you have them on audio?
I do. I've been wanting to do that for quite a while now, and various things have kind of gotten in the way. But starting a few months ago now, I've got a narrator, and I've been coming out. He's just cranking them out.
Oh, fantastic!
Pardon me?
That's fantastic. And I think I've heard a little bit. Maybe I heard him sing, but you've been pimping him out. So I've heard a few snippets at least.
He's really great. His name's Will Watt. He's a Brit, but he has a really good American accent. So he reads the books in the American accent. But when I put the audition notes out for the original, for The Forgotten, my main stipulation was that you have to get the main character's voice right, which means you either have to be able to do a really convincing British accent if you're not British, or you need to be a Brit who can do an American accent. And I got probably 50 auditions from various people, and some of them were good and some of them were not so good. But Will really impressed me with both his American accent and his Stone voice. So I got in touch with him, and he's wonderful to work with because he's so cheerful, and he's funny, and he's very responsive. He works fast, and I'm just thrilled with him. He's doing a fantastic job. So we've got everything up to Core of Stone out now, He's working on Blood and Stone right now.
Okay.
He's up to chapter 18. I was proof listening today up to chapter 18. And the plan is to just bring them out one after the other until we get caught up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm happy that we finally have the audiobooks out there, because that's something I've wanted to do for a long time.
And this is great. This is great for me because I can get the audiobooks and listen to them on my god awful drive every day.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying, is that they want them because they have a long commute. My husband Dan listens to them on his commute because I used to have a long commute. I had like a 2-hour commute and it was horrible. So audiobooks were great.
Yeah, I do an hour and 40 one way, and then back. So
that's nasty.
Now, you mentioned that your husband listens to your books. So is your family, are they fans of your work?
My husband is immensely supportive. He was all for me deciding to quit my job and do this full time. He knows this is what I've always wanted to do, and all he said was that if you can bring in enough money to make it viable, then yeah, do it. And so I'm really grateful to him for being, he listens to he's always my first reader, actually my first listener, because I read them to him in the car. Mm-hmm. And
so basically your books were audiobooks before they were audiobooks.
Well, yeah, I mean, just for an audience of one. But yeah, it's and he's my sounding board. When I have a plot problem, he'll listen to me. And I think I mentioned this. I may have mentioned it on one of the other times I was on. But he has a very unique mutant power, which is that he is really good at zeroing in on what I don't want to do. Which sounds bad, but it's wonderful, because I'll tell him, here's my problem. Here's what isn't working. And he'll say, oh, okay, well, why don't you do this? And I'll go, no, that's not what I want to do. But hey, you just suggested what I did want to do. So it works every time. He occasionally he'll come up with an idea that I do end up using, but usually it's something more like helping me kind of align my thoughts and figure out what I do want to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes, I mean, that's what roundtable brainstorming sessions are great for, because if you hear the really sucky ideas, then you actually can focus on the good ones. And I'm not saying his ideas are sucky. I'm just saying you sometimes you simply have to have somebody other than yourself and the disembodied voices in your head,
exactly,
verbalize things and
exactly.
Go, okay, I see what you're saying. Don't want to go down that road, but I know what road I want to go down now.
That's exactly it. I mean, his ideas are not sucky. It's just that he doesn't live in my head, and he doesn't know these characters as well as I do, and what they would and wouldn't do. So, even though I half the time don't shut up about them, so he probably knows them better than most people do. But it's got to be hard living with an author sometimes, because they never shut up about their characters, and I never do.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be like living with a paranoid schizophrenic with multiple personalities. You're always talking about different scenarios, different characters, different things that are going on, and it is a form of reality for you.
Yeah,
a reality that nobody else really gets to glimpse until it's in written word.
Right. Yeah, a lot of the time the stuff that's floating around in my head doesn't even resemble the stuff that eventually ends up on the page. So, because it seems so good when it's in your head, and then you try to write it down, and it's like, this doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. It may be good, but it doesn't make sense. People aren't going to buy this. You have to make it, plausible, because you're even though you have magic in the world, it's still basically a real world, so it has to follow real world rules.
Right.
And so, yeah.
I think it does a great job.
Thank you.
Now, would you give us your website? I know that you have the website that has all of the bling and goodies on it, the T-shirts and notebooks and.
Oh, yeah, That one's a little hard to find, actually, because when I go to their page, and actually, okay, here it is. I just happen to have it up. It's tpublic, TEEPUBLIC.com. No, that's not it. Hang on.
I know I put the link in our event page, but I can't
did you?
get there
Okay.
right now. Sorry. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't get there either right now. Let me see if I can. Hang on. It went off the little side of my bar since it's happening now. Let's see. Here we go.
Yeah, this not having internet or cable TV, either one is I'm starting to talk to myself a lot more and answering myself a bit too. So please excuse me for the momentary lapses.
Yeah, here it is. It's tpublic.com/user/winterhawk11. WINTERHAWK11.
Okay, cool.
And that's the t-shirts, the swag.
Swag, thank you. That was the word that was eluding me.
Yeah, I've got
swag. It's Stone Swag.
It's Stone Swag.
Stone Swag.
And I've got a couple new designs up there now that I like a lot. So hopefully you guys will like them too.
Oh, definitely do. In fact, it was Paranormal Universe. Well, help me out. What do they say again?
Department of Occult Studies.
There we go. Yes.
Yeah, that Will, the narrator for the audiobooks, actually he got one and he took pictures of himself when he was running around New York City. He was wearing it, and that was pretty cool.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, there's that, and then there's AlastairStoneChronicles.com, which is my main site, which is the one that isn't updated right now. I really need to go in there and have the new books. So that's really embarrassing. I spend so much time writing books that I have trouble with the whole, administrivia, keeping the websites up to date and stuff.
Oh, sure.
Writing books. I need to get a personal assistant if I could afford one.
That's funny because before we finally got you on, I said I wanted to become a personal assistant. So keep me in mind. Yeah.
Okay. I will.
And I will tell you this: she will do a damn good job.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm actually pretty on it when I have something to focus on.
Yeah, and you're already a fan of the series, so that's
exactly right. Now, your Shadowrun series might throw a curveball to me because I've never been into the games, the online gaming. I don't know how I missed it, but I did.
Well, it's not actually an online game. It's a pen and paper role-playing game. But I don't need anything for that because there's just the one book. There's another one coming out early 2019, I think now. But those are handled by Catalyst, so I don't really have much to do with those. Other than just kind of pimping them out occasionally when when the new one comes out.
I think your Amazon page might bring that up a lot more than even the Stone Chronicles, unless I'm mistaken.
What do you mean?
The description, I know it kind of it emphasizes the Shadowrun series there.
Really?
On your author page? I think maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong a lot this last week, so.
No, I actually have a website that has my Shadowrun fan fiction novels on it, but I don't advertise that very much anymore.
Okay.
But you just did.
Yeah, it's mainspace.net actually. So if anybody wants to look at it, if anybody's like a hardcore Stone fan and wants to see his origins, he actually started out he was Alastair Stone /Winterhawk in my Shadowrun novels. That's where he came from. So his personality is similar. Some of his details are similar. Like he still has the house in England. He still has Aubrey. But aside from that, he's a very different character in there.
Now,
so if anybody,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
If anybody wants to read like doorstop novels about proto Stone, that's where they are.
Yeah, you still have a team, not a team. Maybe it's a team that you get together with occasionally, though, right? And you do the Shadowrun games.
Oh yeah,
Or
we're going to play this weekend. Actually, we try to get together. We try to get together once a month. It doesn't usually work because everybody has schedule conflicts, and it ends up usually being more like once every 2 or 3 months. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's neat. That's important too.
It is. Especially when you're a big old introvert like me and you don't get out and see people very often. It's nice to actually see some friends occasionally in person instead of on the internet.
Yep.
Most of my friends are on the internet now.
That was one of the things I posted several months ago. Wendy probably remembers it. It was this little meme that I posted to Facebook. Introverts of the world unite separately in your own homes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah.
It's sad because it's true.
Oh,
Somebody
children
found
of
a
the
squirrel.
night. Hush.
White
Yeah.
squirrel, white squirrel, white squirrel.
Children of the night, shut up.
Exactly.
Oh, one of my favorite movies. So
Oh.
cheesy,
Mine too.
Love at first bite.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
It was a Frank, but it wasn't Langella. Which one was he?
No, it was George Hamilton.
George Hamilton. Yeah. With,
George Hamilton. Sorry. Yeah.
And then, of course,
See, I'm having one of those days, and I do apologize.
Oh, no worries.
it was probably the all-time greatest vampire spoof movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had to,
That's great.
The Fearless Vampire Hunters, or pardon me, Your Teeth Are in My Neck, was good.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you haven't seen that one from the 60s?
No,
Late
no.
60s, early 70s. Yeah, I actually think it was, I want to say Polanski did it. I want to say it was a Polanski film. But it was this really, kind of, it was taking off on the Hammer films of the 60s and the Captain Kronos, the Vampire Hunter. You know, it was playing off on that, but it was a real tongue-in-cheek kind of approach. And then, of course, you had Leslie Nielsen there in the early 90s with Dracula Dead and Loving It, right after.
I've
Gary
heard that one. I didn't see it, but I've heard of it.
It's actually pretty funny. It really was. I mean, it was in the vein of,
so to speak.
Yeah. Well, yes. No pun. Every pun intended. It was in the vein of the great Mel Brooks, Young Frankenstein, and actually it was Mel Brooks. Did Dracula Dead and Loving It. He played Van Helsing in. Yeah, it was good. It wasn't great. So it's typical Mel Brooks. I think Mel Brooks is one of the greatest comedic geniuses in the 20th century and into the 21st century. But, a lot of his stuff was very derivative. He kept recycling a lot of the stuff over and over again, but it was still damn funny.
Absolutely.
So
I finally got a copy of Love at First Bite on DVD.
I need to own that one on DVD. I don't. My kids would love it because my daughter is very much into the supernatural paranormal vein.
Mm-hmm.
My son just likes comedy. He doesn't like anything supernatural, horror. He just can't stand it. But but they love Mel Brooks. I've let them watch every Mel Brooks film with the exception of 2 that I'm just waiting a little bit longer to let them watch.
Mm-hmm.
Blazing Saddles and History of the World. There's just there is a certain level of mental evolution you have to be able to appreciate both of those movies. I mean, you really do.
Yeah.
Blazing, if you don't understand Mel Brooks and the whole comedic route he was taking in the 70s, you do not understand Blazing Saddles. It's like, oh my God, that's the most racist film I've ever seen. Yes, it was supposed to be. He's making fun of racism. It's satire.
Yeah.
He's making fun of those things. And then History of the World, he's making fun of pretty much every religion and every concept that we hold dear because it's, again, satire. It's like, this is not, do not hold this
not to be taken seriously.
Exactly. So...
Well, no, he didn't have anything to do with Top Secret or what were the Oh,
No, the
Charlie
Zucker
Sheen.
brothers. The airplane and things like that. The Zucker brothers the ones that did those and Top Secret and
Okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
They were definite satires.
they did, but they followed the Mel Brooks footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
They really did.
Yes, they did. Some fun movies.
Yeah.
Well, what are your favorite scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie?
Yeah, getting ready for Halloween. Yeah, getting ready for Halloween. What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm not a big scary movie fan, to be honest with you. I don't like splatter horror movies. I liked Poltergeist a lot.
Oh,
That's a long time ago, but I did really like that one. And I love Fright Night, the new one.
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah.
Well, I love the original and the remake. I don't call it a remake. It was really kind of a reboot. It was like it paid homage to
brought it to modern times. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did. But
David Tennant and eyeliner. You had me right there.
Yeah, I know. Damn it! I remember David Tennant is who you would like to see play Alastair Stone.
Yes.
Yes, I remember that now. Yes, yeah. I mean, him in that role. I mean, he's good in that. He really is.
Yeah, he was only in half the movie, but
it was his half. It's kind of like Roddy McDowall in the original. I mean, even though he's not the central character, that character does actually make the movie. For both of those movies.
Yes,
in both of those movies, those characters make the movie. And it's like, Roddy McDowall was kind of like that British staple. You put Roddy McDowall in anything and all of a sudden it had credibility. It didn't matter what piece of crap it was. If Roddy McDowall was in it, it was credible.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, well, he lends this air of credibility. And, we tend to do that with American movies. We put a Brit in. It's like, okay, now it's credible.
Yep.
Now, accent, T, that, it's perfect now. Go, run with it, and be happy.
There you go.
And that was the same thing in that one. You had David Tennant. And I love the fact that they made, they took him from being a TV host of crappy horror films to being this illusionist in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And, smoke and mirrors and everything about him from the moment that you meet him isn't real. His hair isn't real. His makeup isn't real. The tattoos aren't real. Nothing about this man is real. And that is such a great metaphor for everything that's going on in horror films. It's like, all of a sudden, this man, but then he gets stripped to his basic element, and yet he's still fighting. He ends up still being the damn hero.
Yeah.
Saving everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for a little while, he's a bit of a coward, but he comes back.
Well, but that's the case. Yeah. That's the case in the original. Roddy McDowall, his character, Peter Vincent, tuck tails and run. He's terrified of what it. But then he mans up. He comes back.
Yeah. I need to see the original. I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, you seriously? You haven't?
I have not.
Well, there's that scene. And there is a spoiler. Chris Sarandon has a cameo in the remake.
Yeah, isn't he the guy that he gets out of the car and?
It is, yeah. But he's the vampire in the first one. He's the. Oh crap! I can't remember his name. JD.
Jerry.
Jerry Dandridge.
Yeah, Jerry. Because Jerry Dandridge. Yeah, because in the remake, when Chris Sarandon's on the phone, somebody's talking and going, J. They even refer to him as JD. They give him the same initials as the character that he had in the original. Yeah.
Nice. I didn't catch that. I just remember reading something about it because I looked up the Wikipedia page on the movie or something, and then I saw that he was in it. Because I always do that.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I've had a little bit of a bloody nose trouble, so.
Oh.
Well, that's never good.
Just too much sinus problems, and it dries out, and how it goes.
Watch out for those vampire squirrels.
That's right. Maybe that's what Augie's telling me about.
You know what?
He's warning you.
I almost said
Mom!
when you said vampire squirrels, I almost said something, and then I actually caught myself because even though we have a disclaimer, I'm not even going to go there. So.
Yeah, you just want to get on iHeartRadio.
No, because it was just one of those fleeting moments when I heard it, and it triggered the comment, and I'm like, okay, I can't say that.
Knee-jerk, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just can't. I'm not even going to say that. Which is a hell of a lot better than what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a first here on the show. Travis uses discretion.
I was like, no. This happens to me on Wednesdays. I do my daytime show. Then of course we have this. My daytime show is on terrestrial AM radio, and there's a lot of things I can't say there. But every now and then I'll get caught up in the conversation, and I will almost say all kinds of things that I would normally say here, and I go, "Oh no, I got to rein that in." We can't handle any FCC violations. I can't handle any kind of fines on the radio station. Got to rein that in. So.
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
The squirrel ranch? Are we wrangling squirrels now?
We're wrangling squirrel. Yes. Have you ever tried to herd a squirrel?
I have. I heard a squirrel. I have heard a squirrel once. They make this sound. It's annoying as hell.
You beat me to it.
Lost that one.
Uh-huh.
I apologize.
What are you going to do? I mean, I know. Oh, my God. Now, you mentioned RL.
You can call me Robin.
Robin? Okay, I'll call you Robin. I'm sorry, my microphone and my headset are screwing up again. This is not the night for technical prowess. Everything is like screw. It is. It's squirrels.
Robin, tell us where the moniker of rat came around. Wait, could you tell us how the moniker of rat, how that became your nickname or code name or whatever that one is?
Yeah, that goes back to when I was in college. I was in a gaming club called the Simulation Adventure Gaming Association, Saga, and our college had a kind of an open house thing where all the clubs would have booths and sell various items. And our booth we sold British banger sausages on rolls. They were really good. But since we were gamers and, the thing that first level characters in games, it's kind of a tradition that they eat rat on a stick because it's all they can afford. And so we decided since, British banger sausages and rolls sounds kind of boring, we're going to call it rat on a stick. And so we made a big sign that said rat on a stick. And then we all were hawking it in these horrible British accents going, get your rat on a stick. This ain't no rat and there ain't no stick. It was all very silly. But
that's cute though. I like it.
And I was a president of the club one of the years we did that. And so I got myself a T-shirt that's on the back. It had the club logo on the front, and on the back it said Ratmonger. And so I became Ratmonger, and that eventually got shortened to Rat, and that just kind of stuck. And so now I'm Rat. People go, why do you want people to call you Rat? Well, I don't know. It's my nickname. I answer to that. I have since I was like 18.
Yeah. Did we lose you, Travis, or did you get your mic?
No, I'm here. Yeah, I got it fixed. Okay. I need to replace it.
Very true.
Yes, it is. It is. I know. There's a short in the show. There's a short in the mic, and they're not one and the same. One has two T's. One has one.
Right.
Ouch.
Okay. What is your inspiration for the rituals and the ritual magic and the circles? And do you actually know Latin and things? The different languages.
I don't know Latin. That's why I always say, he said something in Latin or he said something in that pseudo-Latin language, because I'm always afraid of, going to Google and trying to translate Latin, because then all the people who know it will go, "You idiot, you don't even know what you're talking about." So
yeah, there's always that.
It's kind of like some authors will, that aren't comfortable with using cuss words in their books will just say he swore. My characters swear like sailors, and I don't mind that, but they speak Latin. They just, he said something in Latin, so it's easier that way. And I don't want to make up my own language because I'm too lazy. So
there, right. Travis, I don't know if you've seen the covers of the Stone books, but he actually
I actually have, yeah.
Okay, he resembles Tennant quite a bit.
He does, yes.
I think that might be by design.
It is kind of by design. We kind of poked around in the Shutterstock files until we found a guy that kind of looks like what I was looking for. The guy on the first book is different.
Right.
And then we switched it because he still wasn't quite old enough looking. The first guy, I don't know if you ever saw the first original cover for Stone in a Hard Place, but he looks like he's about 16.
I kind of remember that, yes. Yeah, extremely young looking.
Yeah, I was new at, this was the first experience I'd ever had dealing with a cover designer, and I didn't know how much I could, push back without making him mad. So I finally just kind of went with it. But like a month later, everybody was saying, is he really only like 16? I'm like, no, we can't do this. We have to fix this.
Right,
so I went back to him and I said, we need to make him look like he's in his 30s because this is not working. But going with the new design with the face out not shown, it does open up a lot more possibilities for not having to always find the exact right face.
Right.
Because we're running out of shots of this guy we found. There's only so many ways you can light him and turn him sideways and.
Right. Yeah. Yep. That's a definite danger there.
The perils of not being able to afford original art on your covers.
Yeah, I understand that one too. If our studio tech this evening wasn't, she's the head of Crimson Cloak Publishing out of St. Louis, Missouri, and she graciously loaned us her digital artist there for a bit, and that was very nice and worked well.
That's cool.
Yep. Well, shall we let's get the websites again, and there we go from there.
Okay. One of them is AlastairStoneChronicles.com, and that's Alastair with an A. Everybody misspells it with an I. Alastair. That's my main site, which as I said before, I need to update it, but it's still got
Right.
It's got some good stuff on it. And the Facebook group, actually, which is fairly active lately, is Alastair Stone Chronicles fans. That's the kind of the fun group where everybody can post. And then there's Alastair Stone Chronicles by R.L. King, which is more of a kind of an announcement group, just because only I can post in that one. So
an author page.
Yeah, it's an author page. I try to keep both of them up to date, but I spend more time on the fun one now and just mostly put the announcements on the other one. And
now, if people join your reader list, there's still freebies that come along with that as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, if you join, you'll get Stone in a Hard Place, which is the first book of the series, and you'll get a novella called Shadows in Stone, which is an exclusive novella that you can't get anywhere else. It's not available on Amazon or anywhere. It's about 25,000 words, so it's a nice little evening read. And yeah, I do contests occasionally on the newsletter. I haven't done any lately. I need to get back to that because I've got some audiobook codes to give away. I'm trying to think. It seems to me there's another site, but my brain once again has been consumed by white squirrels, and I can't think of it right now. So,
Well, I'm wondering if there are
see how I
killer
brought that back?
out there
I
trying
know.
to
I liked it.
get. There
I'm
may be
working.
a beaten dog here shortly. Okay, not
I'm
really.
working with
I
the
never
theme
beat him,
here.
but occasionally I yell.
Oh, he's pretty barky. I was afraid my cat was going to be kind of interfering here because she was sitting outside my door yowling her head off before you guys got on. I think she
Uh-oh.
finally got bored with me.
Oh, how many do you have now?
5.
Okay.
We're
Yep,
crazy
cat lady.
Well, we had 7, but unfortunately 2 of them passed away in the last couple of years. So we're kind of getting down to normal cat numbers by attrition, but hopefully not quickly. So.
Oh, right. No, I don't know why pets don't live forever because, well, they're my fur kids. So yeah, I've lost several since 2009 too. So it's heartbreaking and not easy. It's bad.
No, we lost both of our Singaporas in the last couple of years, which is upsetting. But I know they don't live forever. Be cool if they did. They don't. Unless they're magic.
Now my head's going to go to the Highlander song of Who Wants to Live Forever.
Well, I'm going to have to do something to make sure that, Raider becomes immortal, because if the series goes on long enough, I can't. I can't. That's one thing you can take away is in my series, you will never see an animal die. People, yes, okay, at least not a pet. Let's put it that way.
Right, yeah.
An animal that somebody loves won't die.
Very good. Okay.
Because I can't handle that. I'm okay with killing off people, but characters. But I'll specify characters, not real people. But
I saw something about on Hollywood, even the early Hollywood movies. They would never do anything to harm a child or a pet, really, because the dog in the story or the little kid, because it would turn the viewers against them so hard.
Yeah. I mean, the only movie I've ever seen where the dog dying made me laugh and didn't upset me was one of the Jurassic Park movies.
That wasn't real, but yeah.
There was a dog in the backyard when the dinosaurs were in San Diego, and they came to the little boy was looking out the window at the Tyrannosaurus. Do you remember that? I think it was the second one. But anyway, there was a dog in it. The Tyrannosaurus just kind of bent down and picked up the dog.
I kind of remember, yeah, there weren't any details. It was just all of a sudden gone, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And the dog was inside the doghouse, so you never actually saw it die.
Right, yeah. You
can console yourself by thinking maybe it got out.
Exactly.
When the camera was off.
Well, I was there yelling at TV, a week or so ago because on the movie, the TV series Supernatural, they're always using German Shepherds as the bad guy dogs. Aww. And I went, what is wrong with you people? Don't you know what cuddly little bunnies they are? Okay, maybe that's just mine. I don't know.
I was actually, seriously, I was almost going to walk out of the movie It, the new one, because there was this one scene in that. Did you see it?
I have not yet, no.
Okay. Well, there's one scene. This isn't really a spoiler because it was a very minor scene. But one of the bad guy characters was out in his backyard with a gun because his dad was a cop, and he was out there with his bad guy buddies, teenagers, and he was shooting bottles off a fence, and there was a cat, and he told his friend, pick up the cat and put it on the fence. Oh no. Mm-hmm. I said, if you shoot that cat, I am out of here. He didn't shoot.
Yeah, and there go your ratings because I'm going to put it back.
Yeah, his dad came out before he was able to shoot the cat and stopped him.
Oh, good, thank goodness. Yeah, no, I've got one of my friends out in Seattle who's very much into ghost hunting and runs Spooked in Seattle and everything. She's a horror movie fan. since we were in high school together. She's been that way, and she'll tell me, now, Wendy, you can't watch this one because okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember reading. I read a lot of horror. Well, I used to anyway. I read a lot of horror novels, more than I see horror movies. And I remember there were a couple of them where the bad guy or the monster or whatever was getting back at the family by like nailing their cat to the garage door. And it's like, no, I can't deal with this. Like show them some other way. Don't kill their pets.
Well, the second, oh golly, I can see it. The aliens came and Mel Gibson was there and swirling away, whatever. And
Signs?
Signs, yeah, Signs.
Yes.
Yeah, they've got the German Shepherds, and you hear them get killed horribly, and that was pretty much it for me. I only ever watched it once.
I only ever watched it once. I just thought it was a bad movie.
It was, but it was that much worse. I wasn't going to even entertain the idea.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, well, that's me, sentimental that way.
Yeah, I'm that way with cats, or basically I'm that way with any creature that people are, that people love, whether it's a dog or a cat or a bunny or whatever. If it, I don't mind like if you're hunting and you shoot a bunny in the woods or something like that. But if it's some kid's pet bunny and you kill it, like no,
that's just wrong. That's just hurting people. Yeah, I agree. You still with us, Travis? You're still quiet.
I was just listening to you. I was just listening to you guys talk.
Okay.
I am right here.
Just making sure, because you're quiet, and I'm not even hearing like the occasional static from you. So I was like, well, did we lose him again?
Nope, he's right here.
It's been a night of those kind of losses, and
it has.
Oh, a ting. Now, can you guys hear that when it comes through in my earphones, or is it just on mine?
Hear what?
Oh, okay. Just a little pating where, like a Facebook message is coming in.
Oh, I don't hear them.
No patings.
Okay.
Pating, pating.
It's a pating-free zone.
It is.
Very good. I've heard some where they come through and they're this horrible tone, and it makes you go, "What on God's green earth was that noise?" Good. Okay. Sorry. I was just making sure Carly was around and had her back when we needed her. But
good times.
We're kind of running down on time. Travis, what you got? Anything else?
White squirrel. No.
White squirrel.
White squirrel. No, I know it. Have you ever heard that thing where you're supposed to say white rabbit at the first of the month after midnight? If it's the first thing you say, you're going to have good luck for the rest of the month. Have you ever heard that?
I
have not heard that.
No, that's very interesting.
Maybe it could be white squirrel instead.
I think
white squirrels are even better luck.
I would think. Well, yeah. But that might go back to rabbit's feet and stuff too.
That's true.
It could. Good luck though. I like it.
Okay,
white squirrels.
White squirrels.
White squirrels and all the nuts you can eat. It'll be a great month.
Or maybe it was that TV series about remember in the 70s, the coach of the basketball team, that was the White Shadow, the white squirrel.
Oh, yeah. I never liked him. I don't know why. I think he reminds me of an uncle that just,
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
So,
now I've got one of the troublemaking dogs in here.
I was going to say, as we round out again, let's, Robin, if you will let everybody know how they can get in touch with you or how they can order your books.
Okay. The books are available on all the usual suspects for now. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and iTunes. Just look up R.L. King, Alastair Stone, and you'll find them. And as far as how to get in touch with me, probably the best way is to use the contact form on the website, which is alastairstone.chronicles.com, or it also answers to rlkingwriting.com if you don't want to remember how to spell Alastair. And there's a contact form at the bottom, and I try to answer those very quickly. So.
And it seems like when I originally signed up for the newsletter and everything, it was Mage Space Press
MadeSpace
you've got
Press.
to open that.
That's the one the squirrels took. MadeSpacePress.com.
I just like the way it just rolled off my tongue or it through my head or whatever. So I liked it a lot.
Yeah, we're still looking at the Infernal Heart on the front of there. Oh boy.
Oh, good.
Available now. Two books old. Yes.
That's okay.
But yeah, there's some good stuff on there. It's a bit out of date. The R.L. King writing one is more up to date than this one.
What was the word count today? How far are we up on the book? Book 13 or 14?
Actually 13, and I lied yesterday when I said it was 27,000. It was actually 29,000.
Oh
so
my gosh.
we're over 30 now. I didn't get much done today because I was listening to audiobooks and trying to get tickets to San Diego Comic-Con this morning. So.
Oh, neat. That would be fun. That would be so much fun to go to.
It is fun. It's so much fun. Actually got to sit in on a panel with David Tennant doing DuckTales. It was great.
Oh, that's fun.
And Tom Ellis doing Lucifer.
My daughter is a huge fan.
Oh, I'm a huge fan.
I am too. I think he's just hilarious.
He is. I love that show. And my daughter's an Anglophile. That's what I was gonna say when we started watching the Exorcist TV series. Guess which of the priests my daughter thought was hot?
The British dude.
Ben Daniels. Yeah. Alfonso Herrera. She could care less about. Ben Daniels. She's like, he's my bean.
Well, I'm with her. I'm with her.
She was like, we can hear you, Carly. Yeah, she was like, when Ben Daniels showed up in the fedora in Mexico, she's like, that's it.
Carly likes to come in and throw these monkey wrenches into our shows where she'll talk over everything. The audience can't hear her, so we sound rather
crazy. It's a
crazy,
disembodied Carly voice.
It is.
Exactly, yes. Yep. Alrighty. What did she think of the Sleepy Hollow fellow? I didn't have a problem.
Tom. Shoot, he was a Tom too, because there's Tom Hiddleston, Tom Ellis, and Tom, and I forgot his name.
Right.
But yeah, he played Ichabod. Oh yeah, she loves them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're British. Benedict Cumberbatch, fan. Tom Hiddleston, fan. Tom Ellis, fan. Ben Daniels, fan. If they're British, it's great. She's all
Doctor
about
Who?
She should read my books.
I know.
She has started. I know.
Fan of Doctor Who.
I've tried. The problem with Doctor Who was she just picked up one episode in the middle of the new iteration, and I'm like, you can't do that. I said you're going to have to go back to when it was Christopher Eccleston, start there, and work your way through, because you can't just pick a single episode of Doctor Who and go, I'm going to start watching Doctor Who. You can't do that.
Yeah, there are a few that you can do that with, but not very many.
No,
like Blink. Blink is a good one to start with if you just want to pick one at random.
Yeah, and see, Tennant was my favorite.
Mm.
And then, but I have to say, what was the one before? I forgot the new one's name. Capaldi?
Peter Capaldi, yeah.
Capaldi. The one
He's
before
great.
him.
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith grew on me. His was his was a very quirky doctor. Probably even in my take, quirkier than some of the others. And it took a little time for him to grow on me. Tennant was my favorite.
Mine too.
I loved everything about his delivery. I mean, everything was rock solid with Tennant. It was just, he was perfect. And one of my favorite episodes was the gas mask. And it was actually the first episode with Eccleston, with the little ghost kid that had the gas mask on.
Are you my mummy?
Are you my mummy? And then there was an episode later in Tennant's stretch where there was this gas that was infecting the entire Earth, and he puts on a gas mask and looks at this general and goes, "Are you my mummy?" And it was, and it was just this. Honestly, it was like an ad lib that they just kind of left in because it just worked, and because his entire face was, you couldn't. It was just the gas mask, and then he said it, and he's like looking left to right, like waiting for somebody to respond, and it was just the perfect moment, and that was kind of when I fell in love with Tennant. I'm like, okay, and then the episode where he absorbs the radiation, and then he's
to tune upon the moon.
Yes, my God, that episode was so powerful when he goes back and he's saying goodbye to everyone.
Oh, you're not thinking of the one I'm thinking of.
I'm talking about the one before he changed into Matt Smith.
Yeah.
That one,
those were great.
That one when he goes back and he's saying goodbye, and
yeah,
and viewing everything, and then he gets in the TARDIS, and then the whole transformation takes place. That episode was just phenomenal.
I don't want to go.
Yes.
Yes. So good.
So, yeah. So I told my daughter, I said, you're going to have to watch, but you really need to start back with the very first episode and work your way through. So because while most of them are standalones, they do kind of tie in. They do connect.
Oh yeah.
And if you just try to start, it's not going to work. So.
I caught I think it was like Christmas in July, and they were doing all of the Christmas episodes.
Oh, yeah.
God knows when. And now that was really the most I had ever watched of them, and I really enjoyed them, and I could kind of follow along, but a few places I was lost, but it came back and picked me up pretty quick, so I was astounded. It's like, wow, this is really good. What was I doing when this was on?
Yeah, same here. I found it in 2011, I think. I watched it on because they were doing a marathon on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I watched a couple of them.
I think it was, for me, I picked up in 2012, and I started binge watching from Eccleston all the way through on Netflix, just watching them, from beginning to end.
Yeah, that's what we did too.
And trying to get caught up. And, and I'd say, Gaddis and I just forgot the other guy. But the guys who do Doctor Who, who do Sherlock, they have done an amazing job of revitalizing those two particular British icons. They've done an amazing job. And I don't know if you guys ever saw their mini, well, it was a series. It was 3 episodes of 2 hours apiece of Jekyll. The take on Jekyll and Hyde.
Thank you.
Didn't see that.
Oh my God, that show was amazing because it brought the whole Jekyll and Hyde thing to modern times, but it kept the tie to the 19th century. And
nice.
I think I started to watch that, and then I didn't get into it, or I had something I had to do, and so it went by the by.
If you can find it, I don't know if it's still on Netflix. If you can find it, watch it, and if you watch it all the way through, it is amazing what they do with that.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh,
and it was just called Jekyll, right?
Jekyll. Yeah, it was called Jekyll.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it was there, and there's just 3 episodes. It was that typical British series thing where there's 3 episodes, 2 hours each. So it's like 3 2-hour movies. But yeah, it's amazing. And the guy that they have playing Jekyll and Hyde, amazing. What he does, it's the way he transforms himself, very, very different.
Let's check it out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because instead of becoming this monstrosity that is Jekyll, he becomes He becomes this sexy beast. He becomes this sexy beast who smokes and drinks, and it's hilarious. But it's very, very dark.
Okay.
And very, very, yeah, it really is. It's good.
Sounds like it.
Oh.
It's the perfect time to get the Netflix, because isn't the second season of Stranger Things coming out shortly as well?
Yeah.
15 days. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just posted it to Facebook a little earlier. It's like a countdown. 15 days. Yeah, I cannot wait. I will be binge watching that. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I think everybody will.
Yes. No, I know. So. Oh, but it has been a great show, and I do apologize, but I am running on fumes. I have got to try to get some sleep tonight to start because I'm going to have a Monday tomorrow, because I haven't been in the office except for just like 2 hours. Not even that, really. I don't think it was even 2 hours. I went by, was able to take care of a few things this afternoon, got my paycheck, which was cool. I like that. That's an awesome thing. That was a plus, because I forgot it was pay week. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be a Monday for me.
Uh-oh.
I know. I'm not looking forward to that.
And then Friday is the 13th. So
I know that's not good. Which I do need to plug something real quickly for people that might be listening in the Eastern Kentucky, Virginia, Ohio area. Friday and Saturday, the 13th and the 14th, Horror at the Plex is taking place in Knott County. It is the first ever actual horror convention that Eastern Kentucky is going to see, and they've got a lot of great folks who are going to be there. Eric Roberts is going to be there.
Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of the folks from the MMA and the WWE, and some of the original Power Rangers are going to be there. There's going to be folks from the original Mortal Kombat movie, and some of the original Halloween and Friday the 13th, folks. It's going to be a great thing. You can visit horrorattheplex.com if you want information, but that is going on this weekend. So I wanted to toss that out. I've been helping the guy a little bit with his promotion. Ernie Shell, great guy, but that is going on in Knott County, Kentucky this weekend.
Cool.
Yeah, so I wanted to just toss that in.
It's fun.
So,
Fun.
Robin, thank you for being on the show again, and we need to have you back. We need to have you back before 6 months has transpired, so we can actually kind of get a play-by-play on what you're doing with Alastair Stone.
Always happy to come back.
We will have you back on.
Fantastic.
It's a fun.
Yeah.
Always.
Thank you.
So just let me know, like you did. When your schedule frees up, you went on. Say, hey, Wendy.
All righty, you'll do that. Thank you.
And if you got something
absolutely.
new, if you've got a new book coming out outside of the Stone Chronicles, new product line, call us up and we'll just bring you back on.
Sounds awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for all the entertaining hours reading the book.
Well, thank you for reading the books, because
certainly.
That's the important part.
It is.
Yes, it is. Very much.
It goes
so.
a lot. It makes things a lot better.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Having
All the way
people
around.
read the books is always nice.
That's why I don't write books. I figured I'd write it. I might get a friend to read it or two, and that'd be it. And I'd be sitting there going, "Oh yeah, okay. Well, I feel so good about myself now."
I'd read it.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. I actually do really well with dog rescue guidebooks, handbooks for the foster people and things like that. But not really books, but articles. So
Well, that's cool.
I'm more technical like this. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I need to go
I
eat
guess
because I'm starving.
Well, enjoy dinner. I haven't eaten yet either, and I'm not going to. I was going to bed. So it's way too late for me to eat.
Oh, and Riverdale's on tonight.
Ooh, I wasn't sure if I was going to go back to that one or not.
You want to give it a try?
Yeah, I probably will. It's probably recording somewhere. So
Yeah, that's ours is recording too. So watch it whenever.
Very good. All right. Well, we will say good night then. And
okay, good night.
Good night.
Have
Thank you so much.
Friday the 13th. Watch out for white squirrels.
Absolutely, yes. We will see you on your fan pages. She's got several on Facebook, so go check it out. All the listeners that aren't already familiar with R.L. King, aka Robin, aka Rat. And well, Travis, who do we have next week?
Next week we have Brad Steiger. Brad will be joining us to discuss. He has 4 different books coming out. We'll be talking with him. This is his first time on the show. We're very excited. He's got a lengthy history in the supernatural and the paranormal author category. And I will have...
Yes, he does.
Yes, very. And
writing screenplays as well, unless I'm mistaken. Valentino.
No.
I remember seeing that, I think.
Yes. He's going to be a very interesting guest next week. And the following week, hashtag Redferning. Nick Redfern's going to be back on. We're going to be talking. We're going to be talking shapeshifters.
Shapeshifters.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good show. Yeah. So we are excited.
I think it's just
we need music. We need a closing and music is what we need.
I think she's hurting children again.
I think so. It's better than hurting squirrels, from what I've heard.
Hashtag hurting squirrels.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And like anytime, come back on.
Anytime you want. The show is yours.
Good luck with all of the books, and I highly recommend the books. I really enjoy them, and I know I'm easily entertained, but for me to actually sit down and read these books are, and then recommend. I'm pretty sure that holds some sway somewhere. Or not. We never really know for sure.
We don't know anything.
We know nothing. Do you think Carly's coming back?
I don't know. Oh, there she is. She's yawning.
Oh, there you are.
Sleepy time, Carly.
Can anybody else hear you, Carly, or is it just us? It's just us. The voices in our head that, ironically, all 3 of us can hear.
It's true.
Hive mind.
Yep. Anyway, yeah. Well, if Carly would kindly play our ending, and we'll call it an evening.
Yes, we will. And we'll be back next week with Brad Steiger.
Yep. Good night, everybody. Have a great week. Safe Friday the 13th and all that fun stuff.
Thank you for joining us tonight. You've been listening to Mystic Moon Cafe. Join us every Wednesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. On behalf of Wendy Schindler, this is Travis Short saying have a great rest of your week.